Despite mass RNC protests both for and against Donald Trump, the demonstrators have been largely peaceful, with only a handful of arrests so far here in Cleveland.
Yeah, that's right. Fox News' roaming correspondent at large, Geraldo Rivera, has been covering the rallies down on the ground and speaking to some of these protesters.
Good morning.
Are there a lot of protesters out there right now, Geraldo?
There are very disappointing, from their point of view, turnout on both sides. But in terms of, like Black Lives Matter, let's take that group, which we thought would be central to the disruption outside the big convention.
They are here.
They almost didn't show up, though, Steve. I'm telling you, there are very few black people. They're mostly like Overland College and, you know, kind of hippie-ish kind of demonstrators, and in numbers that are
walking around with masks on.
Masks and top hats, and the guy who was wearing a boot, and you know, there's some tension here or there, but it really is so muted. The cops are delighted by how understated the
Why is that, Geraldo? Is it because the media was blowing it up? It was going to be bigger?
I think that's part of it. I think that the prospect of all these bikers for Trump and the open carry people confronting the left-wing demonstrators was something so enticing to many media.
But after Baton Rouge, people realized.
You're absolutely right, Brian. It was exactly that. With 8 dead cops, their blood barely dry on the streets. I could get very emotional just talking about it. How can you then go and say Black Lives Matter? You should be saying Blue Lives Matter, as Sheriff Clark suggests. All lives matter. Let's be in this together. But I think that it really sobered a lot of people that took a hard look at what they were going to do, and I think it cooled things down.
A new group that we're just hearing about this morning, Stand Together Against Trump, STAT.
You know, putting aside their political bent, I like this group, and here's why. Muslims have had a hard time in this election cycle. First, you had Donald Trump, of course, famously saying he was going to ban all Muslim immigration. Then you had Speaker Gingrich saying that even Muslims who are citizens would be questioned to see if they adhere to Sharia law. And then now you have Donald Trump saying that Muslim immigrants can come, but they'd be extremely vetted. Anyway, we are in the center of one of the great medical communities in America. You know, you have the Cleveland Clinic, you have the university hospitals system. I mean, a huge employer. It really has done a lot to lift this city. 10 to 20% of the doctors in these two massive health institutions are Muslim, and they fear that any impediment to Muslim immigration could hurt the need that they have, the desperate need they have here. So there is a group that started to Stand Together Against Trump. It's doctors who are protesting any kind of restriction on Muslim professional immigration. He is one of them.
Nationwide, about 10% of physicians are Muslim. Many of these are immigrants, and Cleveland particularly is known for its biomedical research and its great hospitals and clinics, and we have a higher percentage.
A lot of people are just coming here to find better lives for themselves. My parents came here in the 80s to pursue an education, and if things like a ban existed at the time, my life would have been very different.
And do you worry that there'll be a diminution in terms of Muslim doctors coming here?
I do. I don't think it's irreversible, though. I think whether it's doctors or nurses, teachers, or any other professional, I think we still have a chance to turn a corner away from this kind of rhetoric. It all depends on what happens in the election, and I think it all depends on what happens with Trump. We're not protesting Republicans, Geraldo. We're not protesting conservatives at all. On Thursday, we're protesting Trump himself and the rhetoric that he's been using.
I worry a little bit about Thursday demonstration-wise. We can talk about that. But they gave me a very cute thing, not this particular duo, but others. Islamophobin spreads love. Take 2 and call a Muslim in the morning. Warning may result in peaceful coexistence. Pretty funny. It's you know, like aspartame, something like that.
How do they taste?
I haven't taken.
You don't need them.
I got so much love that I spread that I don't need them.
You don't need that?
I'm drug-free.
Cleveland is a hometown to you, and you're bringing somebody special.
I am. Well, Erica's in town, my wife, of course, but her mother-in-law is coming, and we're cooking tomorrow from Shaker Heights. Nancy Levy is coming. We're going to cook some brisket. You know, I did rice and beans on the Puerto Rican side last year. This year, the Jewish side. We're going to do some.
But you said her mother-in-law is coming. You mean your
my mother-in-law, her mom.
Her mom.
Her mom,
Oh,
Nancy
good.
Levy. Thanks, Nancy.
All right.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Hey, that's what happens when the protesters don't come. You got to do something, Geraldo. I might as well cook.
Good. And Cleveland has new bagels, too. Cleveland bagels. Great.
Not bad. Geraldo, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
If we give enough time, he'll just say everything.
What else do you like, Geraldo?
He's done everything.
You should see Steve Ducey's face when Peter is on camera, Peter Ducey. It is so adorable, so sweet.
Okay.
Proud daddy.
Talking about family.
Very proud father. Thank you.
You should be.